I'm Victoria Pearson, but you can call me V. I have been a practicing witch for more than 25 years, which makes me feel ancient. And today I will be showing you how to do the most simple house move spell that you can imagine. It is also a highly adaptive spell, so you can use it to attract other things into your life if you're not looking to move house right now. And you can do it for other people if you're looking to help a friend move house as well. Here is one that I made earlier. You will almost definitely have all of the ingredients that you need for this spell, and if you haven't got them all, you can pick them up super cheaply. So let's get straight into it and I'll show you how it's done. So I think this is one of the simplest spells that you can do. You can adapt this to attract other things, but I'm going to show you how to do it for a house today because that is how I did it. I first did this spell back in 2005, and I'm pretty sure it's what brought this house to me. And all you're going to need, a paper bag. I've got a brown paper bag, but my original spell says white paper bag, but I don't think that really matters. You could substitute that for an envelope if you wanted to, if you don't have a paper bag, or you can make a little paper bag, or you could even use a little fabric bag if you wanted to, but I prefer a paper bag because when we've completely finished with this spell, we're going to bury it, and so we want it to be able to disintegrate away quite easily. The only other things that you are going to need is some paper and a pen. Doesn't have to be a special pen, can be if you want it to be. If you've got a particular pen that you only use for your magical workings, use that one. You need some mint. It can be fresh or dry, it really doesn't matter. Your normal household mint is fine. The mint out of your herb cupboard is fine. And you will need some magnets, which is great because I am going to be using these tiny little magnets that I ordered thinking that they were going to be much bigger, and they're not. It doesn't matter that they're small. What matters is that they're powerful, they work, and they stick. That is going to be the thing that draws things into you. You can use a lodestone instead of a magnet if you have one of those. That is a stone that is like naturally magnetic. I have never found one of those, but if you do and you want to use it for this spell, you go right ahead. And so that's pretty much all we need. A Pritt stick and or a sellotape or something for later in the spell, but that's it. This is all we need. So anybody can do this spell. I am going to switch my camera angle so that you can better see what I am doing. But if you want to just pause and go grab these things, that's fine. This is a good time to do it. Now, excuse my slightly ropey camera angle here. I've been doing this for a while now, but I still struggle to film things that are on the table in a way that you can see. First thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to fold these corners in like so. Just taking the two top corners where the opening is and folding them in on themselves, becoming all fingers and thumbs because I'm doing it with you watching. I did not have this problem when I did the actual spell a minute ago. So I'm going to fold these in order to create a little house shape like this. It's not the best, but it doesn't have to be. That's fine. You can make it as neat or as scruffy as you want. It doesn't really matter. We're going to fold that top over. At the very end of the spell, we're going to glue that down. We're not doing that right now, though. So now that I've got my house shape, I'm going to put a piece of scrap paper in here just so that my pen doesn't go through, but that is completely optional. Now, I am going to draw a house on this bag. If you have a particular house in mind that you think could be within your means, you just need a little bit of extra magical help to move things along, then by all means print out a picture of the house that you've got in mind and stick it to the front of your thing instead. But if you don't have that, then we're just going to draw a house, and it can be very basic. Now, because this person specified that they want a garden, I'm going to put a little tree at the front here as if it's in front of the house to show that there is an outdoor area in this house. And again, look, it looks like a child drew it, but it really doesn't matter because the gods know what we mean. The universe knows what we mean. And it is a representation. It's not supposed to be sort of photorealistic. It is just supposed to represent what we are looking for here. I'm going to put a little letterbox on there, a little doorknob maybe. We'll put some windows in. And again, it's a very rough interpretation of a house. It isn't a real house. It isn't a photorealistic house. This doesn't represent how many windows and things will be in the house, so you don't have to go, oh God, I've got to do all the bedrooms and everything. It doesn't have to represent the house entirely, right? It is just to show a representation of what this is. I'm going to colour my front door in because I just feel the need to. Again, we're not getting any prizes for our artwork today. That is not what this is for. Well, this pen isn't working very well, so what colour roof tiles? Should we do brown roof tiles then? That's fine. Just a very, very basic, so that, you know, it's not photorealistic or anything, but if somebody were to look at it, it would be obvious that that is supposed to be a house. And if you really, really want to, you can spend a lot of time making this very artistic, but there really is no need for it. And like I say, if you've got a particular house in mind, then do by all means put a photo of it on there, but be a bit realistic about it. Don't be putting Buckingham Palace on there, because that's not going to work. But very, very basic house, okay? Take the scrap paper out. Don't need that anymore. Literally all we have to do to turn this into an attraction spell is add some magnets and some mint. I'm going to explain why. But first, you're going to get your pieces of paper. If you have a photo of every person that you want to live in this house, use that instead. Write their full names on the back, including the names of any of your pets. If not, you're going to write that down on your piece of paper instead. And once you have written it, you're going to fold it towards you, because you are not trying to move these people away from you. You want to keep them with you. You want them to come with you. You're folding them towards you. This is all about things coming towards you. If you have a particular symbol that you like a particular bind rune that you have created, you can put that on here. But if not, I would put an equal armed cross on there, just like that. And then we're going to put the people and the pets, don't forget the pets. We're going to put the people and the pets in the house. So inside this bag now, what I have right now is a list of all of the people that I want to move to this house, including their pets. Don't forget their pets. The next piece of paper, this is the fun one. This is where you get to write down all of the things that are important to you in this house. So make sure you include how many bedrooms that you want, whether you want a garden, things like that. But don't forget to also include things like it has to be structurally sound. It has to be dry. What do you want your neighbours to be like? What do you need nearby? What amenities do you need? All of those things down. And I would also add at the end, and anything else that will make me happy. So I'm going to add that on here now. Because that way we're not being so specific that, or anything else that I need would work as well. That way we're not being so specific that we're going to be throwing away any blessings that the universe wants to offer us, but we haven't put on our shopping list. So like with the family one as well, on the end of the family list, I also wrote, and anybody else who is embraced into the family who needs to move with us. Because what we don't want to do is have your house move come up, but since then you've got another pet, or since then you've got a new partner, or since then you've had another baby, and they're not welcome to come with you. So on the end of your family list that you put in here, or on the back of your photo of your family in there, I tend to write, and anybody else that needs to come, or anybody else that's embraced into the family before then, etc. But on this list, this is your wish list. This is your dream. Again, don't go over the top. Don't say that you need a 17-bedroom mansion with a swimming pool, because you don't need that. But you need somewhere that you're going to be happy. You're going to need somewhere with a functional kitchen. You're going to need somewhere with maybe parking, maybe a garden, maybe somewhere that you go on dog walks. Maybe you want somewhere that is close to someone that could become your partner in the future. You know, anything that might become important to you, write it down on here. No one's going to go, oh, you're too greedy, as long as, like I said, you're not putting 17-bedroom mansion with a swimming pool and a library. But everything that you need needs to be on here, because the house that comes to you is going to have all of these features. And there may be things that you have forgotten and you think, oh, I wish that I had put doesn't have black mold or something like that. So I've put dry, I've put structurally sound, I have put enough rooms to house all these people, I've put enough room for us to not be tripping over each other. And for the person that I was doing this spell for this morning, that it was also important to them that there was no DIY to be done, that there was no work to be done, that I could just turn the key and move in. And so I included that on there as well. And again, fold it towards yourself. If you are doing this spell and somebody is with you though, and that's the person that you're doing it for, fold it towards them. But in any other case, fold it towards, so that the universe understands that we are attracting this towards us. And then once again, if you have a particular binder or symbol that is for you, that you've created for this, you can use it. But if not, equal armed cross on there. And guess what we're going to do? Pop it into the bag. So now I've got my shopping list in here, and I've got my family members that I want to come with me. And here I have put my shopping list. I've put everybody down on there. I've put all the things that I need in there. If you wanted to, you could also do the back of your house as well. In fact, I might add some more trees in there to make sure they get a garden, because these people have dogs, and so you've got to have a garden if you've got dogs, haven't you? Which is why as well, like, because they have dogs, I have put somewhere to dog walk. Because they've got cats, I have put somewhere that is safe for cats with low traffic. They don't particularly like getting pally-pally with the neighbours, and so I have written on there, you know, neighbours who keep to themselves unless it's an emergency. Nice but standoffish, because that's what we want. And all of the other things that we thought it's possible that she might need. I took the list from that person. I told them to tell me everything that they wanted in a house, but then I also added a few things that I thought she hadn't considered, like it being structurally sound, dry, that sort of thing. It's the sort of thing that you would want anyway. Now the next thing we're going to do is put some magnets into this spell. And that's because we're trying to pull this towards the person, we're trying to drag it in, we're trying to attract it, and so magnets are a symbol of attraction in that way. It is very important though, if the person that you're doing the spell for or yourself has small children, that you keep this well out of their reach, because if a child swallows a magnet or two, then that can get stuck inside them and cause serious issues. You can reduce the risk by just putting the one magnet in, and that's fine. But yeah, if you're using, especially if you're using tiny magnets like these that are easy to swallow, be so careful around small children and pets and anybody that puts things in their mouth, really, because swallowing magnets is very, very dangerous. That being said, you can use a lodestone instead, and that won't really change your spell very much. You only actually need one magnet in here, and it doesn't have to be a tiny little magnet like this. Like I said, I ordered these by accident because I thought they were going to be much bigger. But you can use any magnet. You can use a magnet that you've already got on your fridge. But bear in mind, if you do, that whatever is on the magnet is going to affect the spell. So if you have a Brighton fridge magnet, you might end up moving to Brighton, and your mileage may vary on whether you think that's a good thing or not. So if it's got words on it, make sure that they're positive words, nice words. Any words on it have to be positive, nice, and nicely related to the house that you want to get. If it's an area like a holiday magnet or something, you might end up going there or going to a place that shares traits with that place. So make sure that everything is nice and positive on that magnet. If you have a magnet that's got a picture of your family on it, even better, use that, because that will help bring all the different elements of the spell together. But yeah, any magnet will do. You could even use a dinosaur magnet if you wanted. Although I say that because somebody I know did use a dinosaur magnet, and then she ended up moving to the Jurassic Coast, which was something. So the only other thing that we need in this spell is some mint. Now, my only caution with using mint would be to say that if your deity of choice is Persephone, you might want to look up an alternative herb to this, because Persephone is not keen on mint unless it has been thoroughly destroyed for mythological reasons. But in any other circumstances, you can use this, it's fine. I actually work with Persephone quite a lot, but I just didn't invoke her for this spell, so it's fine. But the reason that we use mint, so that you know what you're looking for if you are looking up an alternative, is several reasons. First of all, it is a attraction herb anyway. It is a prosperity herb anyway. It is a protection herb anyway. And you want all of those things in your new home. But the main reason that we use mint is because it just grows like the clappers. You get a little sprig of mint, you throw it in your garden, and a couple of years later your entire garden will be mint. And that is because it's really, really good at putting down roots. And putting down roots is what we want to do with this spell. We want to create a place where we can put down roots, where we can grow, where we can flourish and take over the space. And that is what mint represents. And so we're going to pour a good lot in there. Now, if you are the sort of person that likes to chant when you're doing stuff like this, a good chant for this one is, give us a home where we can grow, where love through every room can flow. We need a place to feel secure, and ask for it with heart that's pure. You can also call on, now good gods and goddesses for this spell are Herne and Hertha, the goddess of the hearth and her patron. Hear me Hertha, hear me Herne, to lay down roots is what I yearn, is another good chant that you can use there. And if you like to invoke the elements when you're doing a spell, it's earth, air, water, fire, bring the home that we desire. Earth, air, water, fire, bring the home that we desire. And we're just going to pour the mint in while we're saying one of those chants. Oh, that smells nice. Plenty of mint in there. You can't have too much because we want to really put down those roots. We want to really flourish. We want to really grow. I'm going to fold the top to stop everything coming out. And that's where I said you might want some tape or Pritt stick to stick that down. And then all we're going to do is draw an equal armed cross in the air above it. That spell is essentially, that is the first stage of the spell done. If this is for you, you're going to put it under your pillow or in your underwear drawer or under your mattress or somewhere else that is very personal to you. And you're going to keep it there until your house arrives. But during the time while you're waiting for your house to arrive, you're not just going to sit at home waiting for somebody to drop a house on your lap. You have to do proactive things towards it. You know, you have to be looking at the listings, you have to be getting on the housing lists, you have to be asking around and getting your own home ready to move out of, and all these sorts of things that energetically tell the universe that you are ready to move on, you're ready to go to your new home. Then when you find your new home, you're going to bury this in your garden. If garden isn't on your list of essentials, you can always put it in the bottom of a pot that you plant something in by your front door. If you really, really haven't got anywhere that you can put, you potentially could bury it in a public place, but that might ask a few questions. So if there is absolutely no way you can bury it and you're sure that you've moved to the place that you want to stay, I would say disassemble the spell, tear the bag up, tear the paper up, put it in the compost so it can return to the earth, take the magnet out. You can use that for something else, just rinse it under the tap first. Scatter the mint to the ground as an offering, that sort of thing, so that it's disassembled and it will seep into its component parts into the earth. The whole idea is for it to return to the earth after you're finished with it. So if you can't bury it, put it in the compost or rip it up into small pieces, or, you know, even flush it down the toilet if you must. I wouldn't recommend that in a spell where you're getting something that you like, though. Flushing things down the toilet is usually for things that you want to move away from you. We want this to be buried in our property, so as much as you can do to keep it within your property line is best. Now, like I said, I'm going to sellotape that down. Well, actually, I'm going to use a Pritt stick to glue that down. And then that is the spell done. Now, as I said, you can use that or an adaptation of that to attract anything. If you wanted a new car, put a new car in there, put a list of the things that you need your car to have and a magnet and some mint in there as well. And it might well work for you. It works best for house finding spells, but it can work for other things too. Well, I hope that that has given you the inspiration that you needed to create your own house move spell, if that is what you're looking for. Like I said, I first used this spell back in sort of 2005. I'm pretty sure it is what helped me to move here. It has always been very, very effective because I think the simplest spells often are. So join me again next Monday. I will be here talking about something. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be doing another witchy one next week, but I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing yet. So you'll have to subscribe to me, like and subscribe, and wait and see. If you can't wait until next week to see me again, though, I do understand. I will be here every single morning in your shorts, taking a great big deep breath, letting you know what I'm grateful for, sometimes letting you know what's challenging me that day. And I will be here on a Witchy Wednesday doing an intuitive short card read, a very short card reading for you in the shorts. If you would like a longer, more personalised reading, you can get those on my Ko-fi. Until then though, you have yourself a beautiful week.